All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. Grand rising, grand arrival, grand return. Let me turn my sound off so it doesn't come through my screen. All right, so we are going to do a Tzolkin New Year reading. Not in position to be seen, so I'm going to just share my screen. There we go. Not my whole desktop. And let me set this thing to record and we will get started. Record to the cloud. Here we go. All right, grand rising, grand arrival, grand return. Peace and blessings to the righteous and the repentant alike. I am Cleopatra Sophia the Bodhi. And again, I'm not in a position to be seen, so we're not going to be doing that today. However, we are going to talk about the Tzolkin New Year. We are now basically the Tzolkin New Year started. The first day of the Tzolkin New Year was February the 7th, 2026. That was yesterday. Let me give you the particulars for that day. I am engaged in some hookah smoking, so pardon me if I have to take a little prolonged breath, but we do have our go-go here for you guys to listen to. But let me give all the particulars about that day. Let's see, November the 7th. Okay, so the first day of our Tzolkin year, the Mount Olympus, where the Olympians are, was at 24 degrees of Capricorn. It was 18 degrees of Aquarius in American Troy. Day 7. What is that? Oh, God. I can't even remember what these things mean. That's really unfortunate. Day 7 of our lunar year. Yep. It was the, let's see, day 7. 9th night of creation. The Tzolkin was 69. It was obviously a galactic portal day. Day 1 of our Tzolkin month. Tzolkin month 1, day 1. Saturday, February the 7th, 2026. It was a 9 calendar day, the 37th week of the year, and it was day 1 for our planetary numerology, and it was day 1 of a 9-day cycle where we go exactly in order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the previous week that started on January the 30th was a 1 through 8 week. Now today, the day of this recording is February the 8th, Sunday. Today is a 11 day, not a 2 day. Very, very, very peculiar day for a lot of people. You will see a lot of bad things happen to people today if you haven't already seen it. It's already some pretty horrific things going on in the news that we don't need to cover. The reason why I'm making this video is because I do want to give people a preview of the energy for the year. Soon, hopefully, we'll have an actual calendar that you'll be able to follow along with the Tzolkin cycle. This is my calculation, personal calculation of the Tzolkin cycle. No one else has this. No one else does this. No one else knows this. Now, this particular image that you see on your screen, this is from the Quantum Memoir, which you can purchase one for yourself online at quantummemoir.com. Is a good way of organizing the energies. Obviously, I put it with my Tzolkin spiral. Not my Tzolkin spiral. My astroterography spiral. And I think this is going to be a very helpful way for interpreting the energy. I haven't done a reading like this in over a year. So we'll talk about some of the things. But the woman who created the Quantum Memoir, she's actually fabulous and fantastic. This is right on, and it literally lines up exactly with the Tzolkin calendar. Last year when I did this reading, I didn't know what it lined up with, and so it took me a year basically to figure out what was going on, as far as it lined up with the things that I was actually working on. So I'm sure that poor woman thinks that I ghosted her, but I just had to figure out what exactly this was about, and I literally could not. Something I want to point out is based on the astrology, the astroterography, no, specifically the astrology of February the 7th, 2026, I was able to come up with a color of the year that is highlighted at the bottom. And as you can see, it is copper color. It is copper color Americans. Okay, that is the color for the year. This is our year. My fellow copper colored Americans, this is our year. This year is all about us. I don't know if every year is like this. I have no idea. I do know that this year is about us. Okay, so we need to make sure that we take this quite seriously. All right, so we also have here on the bottom in the key, we have the title, the tone, and the astrology point. I just want to point that out so that you can be aware of what's going on. I'm also going to talk about the different things as much as I can, but let me open that up right now so that I can take a look at it. We're not going to go over astrology points. We're not, normally I might, but I just really want to focus on the actual the astrotarography, because I think it's going to be the most helpful way for understanding the energy, in my opinion. Let me get down here to the scale of 13. The tones. Because I found that actually the tones are very much in alignment with this. And so every month has a specific tone that goes with it. And obviously a direction. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. Now, if you notice, I haven't been making videos, right? And this is obviously being live streamed. And that's just because I didn't want to delay with getting it posted, having to download the thing and then re-upload. It's just too much. So I just went ahead and went live so that you guys could get the information ASAP. So I can't see your comments because if I open up another screen, I'm going to be too confused, which I'm confused enough now. I'm confused enough now. Okay, so I'm not going to open up another screen so that I can be even more confused than I am at this moment. So I'm going to try and give you guys as much information as I can on the Tzolkin year. Now, mind you, the Tzolkin calendar has 28 sets of 28 days and 1 day out of time. So February the 6th is always our day out of time. And the way I calculate the day out of time is when the Ascendant is at 25 degrees of Capricorn. That is the day out of time. 25 is a very important number. I don't know. I can't give you information on that yet, but 25 is very, very important. And so that is what a lot of things happen when we get to the 25th degree of a sign. So that's the best I can give you right now. So let's talk briefly about just what we have here, right? I talked about the color. This is sacred geometry. So if you're not familiar with sacred geometry, while I'm offline, you have plenty of time to actually look into that. I also like the fact that she has the planetary phases out here. She just has full moon, new moon, waning gibbous, waxing gibbous, waning crescent, and waxing crescent, which is fine. That's just five. What is that? 6 points. Scale of 6. That's fine. No problem. We can come back and discuss that maybe another day when I start getting into that more deeply, which I haven't gotten into that stuff for a while, so I can't really talk about it as much as I used to be able to, because I've just been, like I mentioned, taking a break. So today is actually the day of the Super Bowl. So I am broadcasting this during the Super Bowl. I don't care. I have decided to boycott the Super Bowl because I don't believe in athletic trafficking. So that's what I want to say. The phrase of the year, the theme of the year is we're against trafficking. Specifically, One Nation Against Trafficking. All trafficking, whether it's elderly trafficking, spiritual trafficking, religious trafficking, elemental trafficking, elderly trafficking, human trafficking, sex trafficking, labor trafficking. All trafficking must be removed from this land. And so I want to say that because in general, if you know yourself, you cannot be trafficked. The only ones who can be trafficked are the ones who don't know themselves. This is why I am 400% certain that our people were not slaves. We may have been forced laborers, but slaves we were not, because we always knew who we were. And they could not take that away from us. So instead, what they did, honestly, is gave us their story from Europe, because Europe had a total collapse. They had a total collapse of their civilization with the 30 Years' War in 1618 to 1648. And so they lied and acted like we had a total society collapse when they had a total society collapse. So all they've been doing this time, these Europeans, Ellis Island babies, all these people who have been coming to America since the 1600s, they came here because they had a total society collapse after a 30-year war, which was a battle between the Protestants and the Orthodox. That is literally what it was. It was a battle. And those people in that land over there called Europe, they did not want a God. So they came to this land with no God. Because I always said, where's their God? Like, what weird God? And the weird God that they brought was themselves. They did not have a God. There was no God to them. In their mind, there was no God. And that's what they brought to this land. No God. And that is not allowed on this land. We have a God on this land. He's the creator. So all these people who don't want to worship a God, and it's not the God of the Catholics or the God of the Orthodox or the God of the Protestants. That's not what it is. It's the creator. So if you don't want to worship the creator, you're not going to be allowed on this land. And the very land will remove you because you are trafficking religion. You're trafficking a false religion to the people on this land. And therefore you have to go. Not my rules. I didn't make them up. I'm just here to proclaim this so that no one can say they didn't know. Oh, I didn't know trafficking wasn't allowed on this land. Now you know. There's no trafficking allowed on this land. The Americana or the Mexica land, no trafficking allowed. Take your trafficking and go somewhere else, okay? Back to your home, wherever that may be. Because a lot of these people don't know where they're from. They told us, Americans, black Americans, we didn't know where we were from. But it was really them. They don't know where they're from. And they put that on us this whole time. And so I say return to sender. Go back to whoever sent you here. You need to go back to them and tell them we said no. Okay? So the point of going through this calendar is to give you the theme for every month so that you can be equipped to know who you are within the larger cycle. Okay? Now, obviously, this can be done down to a small cycle, whatever. I'm still offering my enchanting readings and the enchanting by scales readings. You have to start with those before you can get to this, in my opinion, because there's no way you will understand who you are if you're not enchanted by yourself. And the only way to be enchanted by yourself is to know where you fit in the scales and to see how this applies to you. Every single reading I've done for that, using the same whatever facts on the ground, has been 100% accurate. Nobody has come back to me and told me I got it off, I was wrong. Nobody, especially people who are not copper colored. The ones who are not copper colored, find them to be extremely accurate. Copper colored people, y'all might want to lie. The non-copper colored people are not lying. Okay, I've done nothing but readings for non-copper colored people, and so it's real. Okay, it's true. So if you want a reading by me, obviously send me an email. My email will be in the description at some point. But to extend goodwill to the whole planet, obviously, I'm going to tell everybody how to get into this energy for themselves for this new year, which started, like I said, February the 7th. Every February the 7th starts a new cycle. Now, another thing I'll mention is that this cycle is a part of understanding the order of Melchizedek, not the Melchizedek priesthood, which is run by anti-Jesus and his cohorts, right? But the order of Melchizedek, which is mentioned in Hebrews, because Jesus is the priest, is the head priest in the order of Melchizedek, not the Melchizedek priesthood. So obviously these people can't read the Bible, they don't understand the Bible, they don't care about the Bible, but the Melchizedek priesthood is on the wrong side of history. Okay, now if you want to learn how to be a priest in the order of Melchizedek, you will understand yourself. That's the very first step. The enchantings and all that stuff is a part of it. This is a part of it. There's other stuff we'll talk about as we get through this cycle and get closer to the end of our year. I might be able to start making videos, but this is really that important. I was trying to do something else. I wasn't going to make this video, even though I made this graphic and did all this work. I wasn't going to do it, and then I could not do anything else. So this is why you guys are getting this video, because I literally could not do a single other thing but present this information to you. So you know, be humble and sit down. No, let me be nice. Okay, I am still here. I am still me. Just so you know, you're not talking to a bot, right? Okay. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get started. In the very middle, we have the purpose. That is what the first month is about. It's about purpose, okay? And it's magnetic. So the Erkadeshi for that is Epidel, which is the rocks, and it's related to the south, and it's related to the stellar gateway chakra, which is 1036 hertz. Again, if you don't know about my chakras and all that stuff, do not type in stellar gateway chakra tone and think you're going to get the right tone. You need to type in 1036 hertz. That's the tone that you need, okay? I am going to work on making the videos that go with the tones. I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. It's very, very busy over here. There's a lot of energy. And so as you can see, we have the moon. That is the card that's in the center. So this whole year, the theme of this, the purpose of this whole year is the moon. We have solar eclipses in Virgo and Aquarius and Pisces. We got a lot of solar eclipses, okay? No, Virgo and Pisces. That's where we have eclipses, including the March 3rd eclipse for Virgo, which is going to mark 4 years. 4 years of my research into this stuff. Because really I did get started in March of 2022, and so it'll be a full 4 years in March of 2026, especially with that Virgo full moon. So another like secret is that if you're trying to figure out what the time periods are in the Bible, when they say days, right, the days, especially the evening and the morning was the first day, they're talking about the new moon and the full moon. Okay, the new moon and then the full moon was the first day. So that's why I said this will be 4 days for me in this walk, but 4 years, 4 Virgo full moon cycles, full. So hold on, let me find what I need to talk about this. I didn't think this through. Where's my what in the world? That's not there. Let's see. Okay, okay, I can't find it, so let me use my phone. Hold on. Oh, I can use this. Here we go. Collections. Where's my albums? Here we go. I don't know why I do this to myself. Like every single time. Wait a minute. Here we go. I'm like, where's the thing at? Okay, y'all, I don't know. I haven't done anything in so long. Where's my hookah? I'm trying to stay as calm as possible because I should be calm. Okay, so the moon is intuition, dreams, the subconscious, mystery, astral realms, a psychic. So literally, this is the energy for the year. Intuition, like intuition this month, especially the next 28 days, you should be really, really, really doubling down, tripling down on your intuition. Okay, that's the theme for this year. That your intuition is what is going to keep you, moving. It's going to keep you in the right energy. And so if you haven't spent the last few years developing your intuition, you might have a hard time. And this is purpose. Like, this is the purpose of the year, is to develop and to basically to develop and to also heighten your intuition. Okay, that's that. So this month is going to set the tone for the whole year. So the next 28 days, which will be until the first week in March, right? Maybe around March the 3rd or whatever. Because I haven't put together the calendar yet for next year. If you have my current calendar, hold on. I can't look at that. I do have that on me. If you have my current calendar, I emailed it to you or whatever, you can look and see where this cycle, the dates on this cycle. I'm going to look at this and see if I can actually give you the best information I can. Like I said, I didn't really plan this. So this cycle goes from this month goes until March the 6th. So from now until March the 6th, intuition is what is going to be the most important thing. Okay, that is obvious. Okay, that is very, very obvious. Intuition. I can use this, so I'll be able to tell you the dates because I do have it on my calendar. So yeah, intuition. Trust your intuition, develop your intuition, follow your intuition. Don't discount it, don't ignore it, especially in these next 7 days. Okay, so the next position is ground. Ground is actually the lunar tone, which is ruled by Malachiel. And Malachiel is, oh God, I have this on a different page. I'm not going to be able to do all of these. Yes, I will. Malachiel is, no, hold on. North Malachiel. And these are Air Kadeshi, okay? All of the tones are with Air Kadeshi. Where's Malachiel? Am I tripping? Oh, here we go. Malachiel is the mountains. What I say? Ebedel is the first one was Ebedel. Ebedel is the rocks, also related to day 13. Malachiel is the mountains, which is the reign of God, also related to day 12 of the 28-day cycle. Why was I saying Malachiel? Oh, and so this is the South Node and the Pluto point. So, if you don't know my theory about this whole thing, basically, the South Node and the Pluto go together, just like North Node and Uranus go together. I have that at the bottom, and so the South Node is always going to be upside down because it is the point of entry from the lower realm, And as you can see, right underneath this point, which is ground, right? This is like your purpose, and then you have to ground in your purpose, and then right underneath it is initiate. So the initiation comes from beyond the inside of the circle, right? It's like the outside, kind of like the court cards. So let's talk about that first one, which is the 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups. It's in reverse though. So it's fear of loss, poor timing, and uncertain future. Again, this is where your intuition is going to come in handy because you're going to need to be able to figure out how to make these things work. And we also have the Knight of Pentacles. which is stability, perseverance, and security. So these things don't even seem like they go together, but they actually do, because the Knight is what's going to be, if you use your intuition, right? If you use your intuition and develop your intuition like it says, then you will be able to mitigate the potential losses of this Nine of Cups. But if you don't use your intuition, you're just going to get, like, it really depends. Like, this is a choice point. The people who develop and use their intuition in the next 28 days until March the 6th are in, when the next cycle starts, which is on March the 7th, and the second moon goes until April the 3rd. I do believe that's I'm not Orthodox. Greek Easter. I think that's Greek Easter. Don't hold me to it though. I don't have the dates on here. But yeah, if you're able to, if you're able to tap into your intuition, then you will be rewarded with stability, perseverance, and security. And if you don't, you're going to get the opposite, the fear of loss, the poor timing, and the uncertain future. That's how this energy is going to show up. And that'll be in the second month, okay? So that's ground. Okay, so then we have initiate. This is where the energy, so this is like, she has it here like a new moon. So this is where the energy is going to really start. Actually, maybe the moon should be flipped, just, to go along with what my philosophy is. But because initiate though is a coming together. So all right, we'll go ahead and buy this as the new moon. Initiate is related to the electric tone. I'm pretty sure that's going to be regel, which is the feet of God, and that's hills or mounds, I specifically say. But let me read the one for the electric moon. Yeah, the electric moon is related to the regel, like I said, which is the mounds, which is the feet of God or the hills of God, something like that. And it's the crown chakra. Oh, I forgot. The lunar tone is related to the soul star chakra. That's 972 hertz. The electric moon or tone is related to the crown chakra, which is a 900 hertz. Okay, so this is the 10 of coins. Go. No, you. Time for you to go to bed. It's 9 o'clock. Okay, the 9 of coins, right? No, 10 of coins. 10 of coins is carefree, harmony, and happy love. But it's an abundance. So imagine, even the people who do not choose, who have the uncertainty, will also still have the access to this carefree, harmony, and happy love when we come to the third lunar month, or Tzolkin month, which is April the 4th through May the 1st. Okay, so it doesn't matter, whatever. If you're not in alignment now, it's really going to show up when we get to that refine towards the end. But basically, everybody's going to sort of look like they're back on the same path together once we come to this initiation. I think that means that everybody's going to be given, some amount of something to start with. Like, nobody is going to have to start their cycle with nothing. But it's really interesting that it's not even going to look like you're starting the cycle really on March the 4th. That's when the cycle is going to start, and it's really going to be, everybody's just going to be celebrating. I think that's when Easter, I really think that's the weekend of Greek Easter, not Orthodox Easter. These Greek Pope people. So that's interesting. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is intend. Intend is related to the self-existing tone, That's Rahaviel, and that's the wind, obviously. And that's now we're moving into the east. Okay, so this Tzolkin wheel is going in. It's going reverse. It's going from the south to the east, to the north, to the west. So it's going, it's not going clockwise, it's going counterclockwise. Okay. So this is how we get the spiraling of the energy, because if it was going clockwise, like we have another cycle that does go clockwise, this cycle is going counterclockwise. Okay. That's good. That's important to note. So the Soma chakra is 864 hertz, and that's like, no, I'm not going to say what that is because I can't remember off the top of my head. All right, so what I say, intend. All right, so that's going to be the Hierophant, which is bridging the material world and the spiritual, beneficence, and a priest. Okay, so we've come down the middle row, and now we're going to back to the inside. So that's literally what that bridge is. That's literally bridging the abundance that we have like created on the outside. So basically, to me, the things that are on the inside of this wheel, of the circle, the ones with the colorful slices, those are the things that happen inside of us, and the things on the outside is what will show up based on what we do on the inside. Okay. And that's intent. So our intent is going to be really, really important. And we should always intend to be, again, a bridger of the material and the physical world. A priest, very, very holy and set apart. That type of energy, okay? A lot of discernment, internal discernment. Okay, and so the next one we have is activate. That's, again, back on the outside. So that's I don't know what moon that is. Don't give me the lion. I don't have enough of my stuff in front of me to tell you. Oh, wait a minute. That's a scale of 9. Actually, I do. It's just another it's another worksheet I have to pull out. This is why I can't do this live, because it's just too much. So let's see. We're talking about is that waning or crack? Wait a minute. From the new moon, it's going to be the waxing crescent. Yeah, it'll be the waxing crescent moon. So that is related to Mercury, which is interesting enough. Is that Mercury? No, that's not Mercury. Activate is Mars. That's interesting. But this is the waxing. Oh, it is Mars. It is Mars. That's crazy. Okay, so the waxing crescent is yellow. The goddess is Lakshmi. The goddess's stone is citrine. The choir of angels is powers. It's Kamael. That's a ruling angel. Mars. Onyx. The sense is hearing. And the order of devils is jugglers. That's like 6, 7. Like, if you haven't heard that, now you have. Which is a biblical reference to. Funny enough. So that's what activate is. Activate is the overtone. Overtone is related to Kabodiel. I'll scroll up in the middle in a minute. That's the third eye chakra, and that's 810 hertz. Kabodiel is in the east. That's the east. Kabodiel. Kabodiel is the glory of God, and that's the trees. So Rahaviel is the sight of God, and that's the wind. Kabodiel is the glory of God, and that's the trees. And Kabodiel is extremely important in the order of Melchizedek. Okay. So so this is the fourth, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, the fourth month goes from that's the one that we just did with intend. It goes from May 2nd to May 29th. And the 5th month, which is activate, that's the what I just read, the waxing crescent, that goes from May the 30th to June the 26th. Okay, and so that, right, what we have there is the 9 of coins. Okay, there's a lot of coins in this energy. I wanted to mention that it's a lot of coins. The 9 of coins or 9 of pentacles is success, great love, and rewards. So basically, like, look at this. Like, anybody who's following this cycle, which I know these Melchizedek priesthood losers are, will be successful. Like, there's no, even if you have this internal struggle underground and refined with this, it doesn't matter. You're still going to look like, on the outside, you're going to look like you're on top and that you're making progress. Even if, you know, on the inside you're not. So this is really, like, just fascinating, like, all the way around. Okay, so, and the 9 of Pentacles is good energy. So money. All right, if you follow this cycle, you will make money. Matter of fact, try it for me. If you think you need some money this year, please try this cycle out and let me know if it actually works. You're only going to waste a year. Actually, you'll know within the first 28 days if it works or not. Honestly, you'll know for sure. Okay, let's keep moving. I don't want this to be too long. The next one is going to be observe. That's the 3 of cups up here, and observe is related to the rhythmic tone, and that's Jupiter. Observe the rhythmic tone. Rhythmic tone is Pawnel, and that's the Lalana chakra, and that's 777 hertz. It's a really good frequency to listen to anyway. What I say, Pawnel? He's still in the east. Pawnel is the face of God, and that's rivers. Okay, so we got the 3 of cups. Let me go backwards. I went the wrong way. The 3 of cups is offspring, happiness, and gratitude. So that'll be on the inside. This is what tone? Let me see. This is Pawnel. This is the 6th month. So the 6th month is, let me put this over here for a minute. The 6th month goes from 6/27, June the 27th through July the 24th. Okay, that's the 6th month. And so that's more, you know, celebrations. And that's obviously that month, that 6th month is the time where we will be celebrating, observing our 250th anniversary of this Americana land. And we will be by the river. I mentioned in another video that I am planning a get together in DC for the 250th anniversary of this country, and the details will be coming on that. So if that's something you might be interested in, I'm going to be in DC for a month. So at any point, if you want to come up to DC in July, I'm going to be doing something the whole month that I'm there. It's going to be a lot going on. And if you've never been to a black family reunion and you'd like to go to one, my family reunion is on the 27th, something like that. So that's another one of the reasons why I'll be there all month, because I can't go in the middle, in the beginning, and then leave and then come back. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm going to be there all month doing the whole thing. And so if you've never been to a black family reunion, you don't have no family, whatever, you're more than welcome to join in on those festivities. I'm going to have to start some more charcoal once I finish this. Yeah, because I talk too much. So, yeah, we're going to be celebrating. We're going to be partying. And you're welcome. Okay, you're invited. So the next one is going to be evaluate. Now, this gets into the north. The north is the scattering wind. So the north is when things start to kind of, you know, separate and get clear. You get clarity when you deal with the north. So evaluate is related to the resonant tone, and that's related to the sun. The resonant tone is Oriel, which is the sun, I do believe, and the throat chakra, which is 720 hertz. Let's look what Oriel is. Oriel is in the north. That's the east. That's the west. The north is Oriel. Oriel is the light of God, which is the sun or the sky. So that was I wasn't expecting this. So that moon is the waxing gibbous. No. Is it the waxing gibbous? I think it is the waxing gibbous. Or is it the waning? It's big. Yeah, it's the waxing gibbous. So this is related to the color green. The goddess is Tara. The goddess' stone is jade. The choir of angels is thrones. Sophiaspiritualite, Saturn. It's the carbuncle. It's imagination. And the order of devils is vessels of iniquity. So those are people who take on the who cause trouble. And this is evaluate. This is the Six of Pentacles. Let me go this way. Is that the Six of Pentacles? Yeah, which is tolerance, generosity, and helpfulness. This month is a 7-month. It goes from the 25th. Wow. The 25th of July through the 25th of July through the 21st of August. Okay. And that time we'll also be starting our joint fast. The joint feast starts on the 15th or 16th or 17th of May. But this we'll be starting our joint fast. So again, we're going to bring towards us the generosity, the tolerance, the helpfulness, and engaging and beginning our fast of that time. That's like fascinating, like unbelievable, really. I should really be honest about how crazy this is. If this is if this works, it'll be one of the most successful campaigns ever. All right, so next up we have Connect. That's back on the inside. So as you can see, we're stitching the energy from the inside to the outside. We're really bringing all of this to us, and that's what the Flower of Life is about. And that's why I like this quantum memoir. Again, quantummemoir.com to purchase this from the nice lady who created this. So we're going back to the inside to Connect. Connect is related to the galactic tone, and that's related to Neptune. So the galactic tone is Sarahel, and that's the higher heart chakra, which is 691.2 hertz. Sarahel, let me get up here and grab her in the north. Sarahel. Here we go. Sarahel is the power of God, and that's oceans. Okay, the power of God, and that's oceans. So we have another powerhouse energy, which is the Queen of Wands, which is the very first because Neptune's going to be at 0 degrees, the very first court card in our tarot spiral, and that's pride, femininity, and self-confidence. So by that time we should be oozing with the self-confidence. Okay, and that is what Connect is. The galactic tone, I think that's the 8th tone. 8th tone goes from August the 22nd through my birthday, September the 18th. That's the time period of that tone. Okay, so August. So that's a good time to go and be by the ocean. We'll also, that's why we made our vow to Poseidon. Okay, now that makes sense. That's why we made our vow to Poseidon. Okay, now I understand that. Cool. So we'll definitely be tapping into that Poseidon energy at that time. That always encompasses our Lunar New Year. Basically, our Lunar New Year is always going to happen sometime during the Connect energy, which is crazy. Crazy. I don't know how to even put this in words. All right, so next we're going to move on to Elevate. Elevate is rated to our solar tone, and that's Ratchafiel, and that's our heart chakra, and that's 648 hertz. Ratchafiel is, I believe it's not the grass. It's the stars, the movement of God. Raphael means movement of God, and it's related to the stars. What did I say? Raphael. That is the, wait a minute. Solar, yeah, solar, higher heart chakra. That's the ninth moon. Solar. That is related to Mercury, obviously, and it's elevate, is how we elevate. And that is number 9. So the ninth moon, that moon goes from September the 19th through wow, October the 16th. Pretty unbelievable, right around Columbus Day. These wicked people been using this magic. This is related to the full moon. Where's my other chart? The full moon is, let's see, there's 2 full moons, but this one is related to Mercury. I just read both of them. So the full moon that's related to the moon energy is related to the color black and Kali. Obsidian, cherubim is the choir of angels. The ruling angel is Ophaniel. It's the starry heaven. It's this one. The choir stone is emerald. The cognition, the senses cognition, and the order of devils is spirits of lying. So that's what this energy is related to. And what did I say it was? We're at elevate, right? Elevate is the Pentacles 9. Is it 8 of Pentacles? It's the 8 of Pentacles, which is learning, hard work, and beginning. Yeah, for sure, it's Mercury. Learning, hard work, and beginning. So it's like when we get to this point, September the 19th through just crazy. September the 19th through October the 16th, that's when we will start learning again. That's when school starts. This is crazy. This is crazy. And it's going to be obvious on the outside that we're starting something new. That's the most fascinating part of this, okay? Let's keep moving. Next we have Express. Express is the planetary tone, and it's related to Venus. The planetary tone is the 10th tone, is related to Kal, which I do believe is fountains, fire fountains. It's the solar plexus chakra, which is 607.5 hertz. It's in the west. Now we're in the west. This is the last one. The last direction that we're in. The west. Kal. Yeah. Kal means the life of God, and it's related to fountains, which I specifically think is fountains of lava. Okay. We're at Express, and that's Venus energy, and again with the 10 of Pentacles, which is carefree, harmony, and happy love. So we're going to get the carefree, harmony, happy love on the outside first before we get the fulfillment on the inside. I think that's also interesting to note, right? It's going to be on the outside first and then on the inside, okay? That's fascinating. So this month goes from the 10th month goes from the 17th of October, 10/17, through 11/13, November the 13th, okay? That's very interesting. All right, let's move on. Next we have Accelerate. Accelerate. That is the spectral tone, and it's related to the moon. The spectral tone is the 11th tone, that's related to the Dabario, which we know is fire, and it's the sacral chakra, which is 576 hertz. And that's on the outside, so that is coming down. So that's the waning gibbous moon, and it's white. The color is white. The goddess is Selene, or Selly, I call her. The goddess's stone is white agate. It's the seraphim, the choir of angels. The ruling angel is Metatron. The movable sphere is premium mobile, which is the first light. The choir stone is the sapphire. The sense is memory, and the order of devils is false spirits. I think these are I think I got them backwards. It's Venus though. I don't know. I have to figure it out later. I think I got them backwards. So still very interesting. This is the Four of Swords. So this is the only, we have one small correction, right? With, well, a couple small corrections. But this is really the only corrective energy we have on the outside, the Four of Swords. And it's rest, relaxation, and being patient. It's not even really correction. It's like, okay, take a break. And that lines up, if I'm not mistaken, with our Thanksgiving. So the 11th month goes from the 14th of November through the 11th of December. So right through our holiday season. Right into our holiday season. And so by that time, the women will be feasting and the men will be fasting during that time period after Thanksgiving. So again, rest and relaxation. Some will be resting and relaxing because they're partying, and some will be resting and relaxing because they're fasting. But it's going to be on the outside. So that is also a fascinating, like, this is just like insane. That's accelerate. All right, so the next one, we're going back on the inside, stitching this into our internal life, and that's refine. And refine is related to the crystal tone, which is the North Node and Uranus. That's why it's 2 there. The crystal tone is Yatsao, and that's the root chakra, and that's 540 hertz. Yatsao is in the west, because I'm about to go up to Yatsao. Should be here somewhere. No, the west. Is the coming of God, and that's thunder, okay? That's thunder. It's very interesting. And we have 2 cards here. One is Temperance. Temperance is balance, melding of disparate elements, harmony, and an alchemist. And we also have the Knight of Wands, another slight corrective energy, internal energy, which is fiery love, self-confidence, and motivation. Like, the only corrections is in our self-confidence this year. Like, making sure that we have enough pride in our own selves. Like, that is like a fabulous year. I mean, this is crazy. All right. So that's refine. All right. So the last one is going to be integrate. This is how we're going to integrate all the energy in. And basically we'll get the day out of time, which will wrap up the whole cycle. And then we'll go back into our purpose. So integrate is related to the cosmic tone, and it's the descendant. The cosmic tone is related to Anahiel, which is the dew. This is in a direction all by itself. It doesn't have a direction. It's the Earth Star Chakra. It's 518.4 hertz. Anahiel, let me read about her. The dew. I do believe the dew is in the west, though. Yeah, it is in the west, but it's not. It's a higher level one. And Anahiel means the gentleness of God. Okay, and this particular moon is going back towards the new moon. So I think it's the waning crescent. Looks like it to me. The waning crescent is related to the color white. It's related to Gaia, which is the goddess. The goddess stone is Howlite. It's the choir of angels is principalities. The ruling angel is Hanael. Yeah. The movable sphere is Venus. The choir stone is Jasper. The sense is smell. And the order of devils is Furies sowing mischief. And so the integrate portion, which is the 12th. Is it 12th or 13th? It's the 13th. But I didn't say the 12th one. The 12th month goes from 12/12, which would have been refined. Maybe I just missed it. which would have been refined. It goes from 12/12 until 1/8, right after our theophany. And then the 13th month goes from 1/9, January the 9th, through the 5th of February. This will be next year about this time. So that is going to be the Chariot. And the Chariot is triumph, victory, overcoming of obstacles, conquest, a champion. So we're going to come out of this year being a champion. You have the opportunity to be crowned individually. Let me put it that way. That's the best way to put it. So if you can follow this path through the whole year, you have a great opportunity to be crowned individually. So again, this is one of the best readings I've ever done. I've never seen a chart like this. This is a very helpful way to organize the information. Again, if you want to be able to organize your life like this, to take notes and stuff like that, please go to the Quantum Memoir. Again, she doesn't like start her things on the same days as me and all of that, but you can take the information that I've given you here and definitely apply it to documenting it in this way. And I may do this myself. I did purchase her book, so I might end up doing this for myself so that I can keep track of all of this energy. Now I've got to go and sort of figure it out. So now that I've gone over all of the points and all of the cards and how to read them and the order and all of that, these are my final thoughts on this particular Tzolkin New Year. We've never seen a year like this. We've never seen a year like this. We've never seen energy play out like this. We've never seen a copper colored people be at the center focus of the energy for the whole year. And so if you don't take the advantage of that, if you don't take advantage of that, if you don't make the most of that, if you don't make it your goal to, again, take the information from the outside and weave it into your internal life, to develop your own self-confidence, to do things in a way that only you can do them. Only you can create success with this kind of stuff. No one else can do this. And so if you don't take the opportunity and the time to do that for yourself, no one can do it for you. Like, no one can do it for you. You really have to do it for yourself, and it's much easier than you think. Is it better if you have your own personal reading and all this stuff? Of course. But do you need it? No. You can take this very general information that I gave for everybody, tap into these 13 28-day schedule cycles, and you can do the math yourself. The first day of the year is February the 7th. And you can go to timeanddate.com, have it repeat every 28 days 13 times. That will give you the exact dates for yourself. This is easy stuff you can do for yourself. You can email me and I might like type it up and put it up. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do that, so I don't want to make that promise, but this is easy information you can do for yourself. This stuff is so easy that if you can't do it for yourself, I even gave you the order at the bottom. There's no way you can not figure this out for yourself and not implement this for yourself. You guys are smart, you're strong, you're beautiful, you can do it. And so I want people to focus this year on really getting into this energy. I mean, you can't lose if you get in this energy. You literally can't lose. And everyone around you is going to be losing because they started their calendars different. It's all about when you start your cycles. And if you don't start your cycle at the right time, you are stuck with the energy of that whole cycle. That's why I didn't even talk about the Gregorian New Year this year. We're not on that cycle. We're not on that timeline. We're on this timeline. This is the timeline of winners. The 13th cycle is the victory. It's the Jubilee timeline. If you want Jubilee, you have to follow this timeline. It's very, very simple. The Melchizedek priesthood know this. This is why they all got them big government jobs and making gobs of money. It's because they follow this cycle. Why do you think they put the Super Bowl the first weekend in February to distract you from starting this cycle? This is the reason why. Ignore the distractions. Focus on this year, especially focus on your intuition. If you have focused on your intuition for the last 4 years, just like me, that's fine. It has made your intuition stronger. Give it another year. There is something about this year. Everywhere I look, there is something about this year that is different from other years. And so I beg, like the Nigerians say, Focus on your intuition this year. If you do nothing else, if you take nothing else from this reading, spend this year cultivating your intuition. Find out what your moon sign is. Spend this year head first in your moon sign, okay? I'm gonna have to get some more charcoal. My charcoal went out. Spend your year head first in this energy. I beg, okay? I beg you. Do this, okay? You will come out more wealthy, more abundant, more confident, more happy, more everything this year if you do that. If you can't do any of that, see this color? Print this color out, okay? Get this color, screenshot it, print the color out, carry a piece of the color with you. Like, this is copper color, red skin color, okay? Just carry the color with you. Recognize the color, acknowledge the color. Like, these are very simple things that you can do to tap into this energy. Now that it's in the ley line, it's here. The angels will know, hey, she knows what's going on. Hey, he knows what's going on. I'm tapped in. That's all you have to do. You don't have to, do all this other stuff. Just do this basic thing, and it may seem like a lot. It's really not. It's really not. It's really easy. You don't have to print it out. You can just make it your background. It's a lot of things that you can do to make your life easy this year. And I beg, please make your life easy this year. That's why I made this video. I had no desire to make any videos. I wanted to get this information out to people so that they could have the potential to be successful this year. There's a lot of things working against you, but there's a lot of entities and angels, guides, saints, everybody that's working with you. So I beg, okay? I beg. Please work with this energy and not against this energy. Okay, you can do it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay, and we're doing it together because I'm going to follow this. I need the money. I need all of that. Okay, I need everything that the what the mealworm and the whatever worm has stolen. I need that back. Okay. And God said he will restore it all. And so that's what this Tzolkin year, that's what the Jubilee cycle is about restoring what Satan has stolen. Because it's not his, it's not these Melchizedek priesthood, it's not them, okay? It's the order of Melchizedek. And this right here is a central focus on that. So thank you so much for listening, for tuning in, listening to the rantings of a crazy woman online. I appreciate everyone's support. If you need anything from me, don't hesitate to reach out. So shalom, peace and blessings, of course, and we will see you in the next video.